we're gonna make our veins. And like I said, there's no rhyme or reason to this. Like there's just not. Fill that one up. Take our veins. Sometimes you'll find some chunks that aren't quite mixed up, which is fine. Because that mixer is just not going to do it, because we're going to vibrate everything and that'll get everything blended together. So, warm water feels good on here. We usually mix with cold water, but since it's winter.
Wait on this one.
Right here, go like this. Just kind of follow the same pattern I did this way. Actually, just dump it all. Just dump it all and then go get me another one. And I'll place it. So we're doing the same color, so it's not any big deal. I'm just trying to make some darker separation, and I'll show you how I do that.
Where at?
Down there. Little island right there. See what that looks like. See, there's no rhyme or reason here or right or wrong. So what I don't want to do though is I don't want my seams to be on the corners. Like I want those to be solid for support. And like I said, it's going to be black on black, so you're not going to notice it. I want that to stay solid. We did 3 black, half or quarter, yeah, 3 black, quarter. So what you don't want to do is like scrape off the bottom. You want to keep off, just take it from the top. Just kind of sprinkle it here. Okay, so now what I want to do, what that's going to do is make like places where I can grout and make it look 3D-ish. So now I'm going to go back to my, probably should have gloves on because my hands are going to be black now, but whatever. I'm going to take my powder now. And I'm going to throw it in between and under. It's going to make a vein. You'll see when it's all done, you'll be like, wow, that's cool. So when it's all done, you'll understand. Right now, it just probably doesn't make much sense. When we flip it over, you'll see. That'll be step 3 of page number 6 of the story of Ryan.
Yeah, part 7.
Part 7.
Part 7 of what?
Now, right down here, we'll do this one. kind of dump it. That was a little, well, that's fine. Just dump it slowly. Yeah. Just kind of, there you go. Okay, so I'm not near that, so I am gonna take this off. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna do like we did over there and kind of mock it, because this is gonna be some of this stuff don't mix, like I said, it's fine. This one here is a little bit wetter, so that tells me that it's probably got a little bit more powder in it. All right, so keep going. All right, so Gabe is vibrating. So what Gabe wants to do here, don't be scared. Put it in there. What you don't want to do is touch the bottom. Keep it flat, but you can get it in there. Yeah, I don't know what. Sometimes that ball bearing is. You want to keep it in there like that. But you don't want to be scared. Don't touch the bottom. You turn and go that way. So Ryan is trying to bring up some cream on the edges. So sometimes we use that, a Sawzall, or we can use this, the tip of this vibrator here works too. You can drag it right off on the ground and we can pick it up. A lot of that we can use on the edges here when we're done. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands here. I haven't really figured out this holding this camera and working part, so, but we will. Got a little dirt on you, a little concrete. Yeah, it's a dirty job. Mike Rowe should be coming and visiting us. So the key to this is keeping it flat. It's not necessarily how good it looks on the bottom, how flat it is, so it fits on the countertop or cabinet better. But you can finish it up, make it look as good as you can. Fill in these edges. This back one is going against the wall, and like I said, you're never going to see that ever. There's going to be a seam right here. So this is going to be like a little spot that might want to crack. It's got fiber mesh in it, and it's strong as strong can be. But where these little corners are, this could crack and that could crack. We don't want it to, like in transport, but you know. So what we want to do is grab that vibrator, Ryan. Where'd the other piece of rebar go? Over there? All right, so we want to grab the vibrator. We're going to put these in right here. But I'm going to show you, like, you can't really poke them in. But watch. Nope, I've got to cut that. So grab the vibrator and just put it right there in the middle. Watch this. Yeah, a little more. Good. That's magic, isn't it? See how that moves? Be honest with you, I was a little amazed at it too, first time I saw it. So you don't want to go too far down with your rebar because you'll see it in the bottom, in the face. So that ought to be enough strength there to hold this corner, this corner. These corners are going to be really small. So I don't think there's going to be much pressure there. And I don't want to, I don't know, I've had experience both ways with rebar. Sometimes too much rebar makes it want to crack, honestly. Unless you're pouring 6 inches thick or something like that. But this thinner stuff, that fiber mesh works really good, and that strength of it. You know, when we're done, we're gonna have shims on the bottom. Everything's gonna be silicone down. There's not gonna be any movement like there would be like in your driveway or patio. So you can't compare this. It's not apples to apples. So I know people will be like, oh, bull crap, rebar this, rebar that. Well, this is not going to have the earth moving it. It's not going to have any freezing. It's going to be solidly on top of a cabinet. Take your trowel, you take your mag, and you can bang on it like that. All you're doing is making the air bubbles pop up. Getting those air bubbles taken care of. Going in those gaps, like that rock right there.
Alright you guys, so we're flipping our countertops over. We stripped off our sides, peeled off our molds. Now you gotta flip them over. So we use these little foam blocks to kind of prop them up like so. This is the tricky part. Yep.
You gotta make sure it's on the perimeter because we're gonna bust that out here. This here has to sit up here and dry a little bit.
Here, hold on one second.
All right, start on that side and peel up easy, and because this is nailed the shit out of here. Grab your side.
Worked like a charm.
It's got a lot of different colors.
Cool. Good thing.
But anyway, we're flipping this. We flip these tops. This is what they look like here, but they got a lot of pinholes in them. See, not a lot. It's actually pretty good. That's what we're after. And we take them. We'll let them dry here for a day, probably till tomorrow morning, and we'll seal them with some little spectrum. Put acetone in the spectrum to thin it out real thin. We'll make it work. Foam in there for our sink mold. This is the kitchen table down here. We got some grouting to do. All right, so we got to our next step on these countertops. We flipped them, and then we sealed them with, we use a cure and seal, and we kind of thin it out with acetone. And I mean, you can use, it's just, there's no formula. You just add a little bit of acetone to some cure and seal. We use Spectrum. And then we'll take and fill a paint sprayer. Harbor Freight is where we get these. So all we're trying to do is fill in these holes. These pinholes, air bubbles. So that's all our focus is. So I sealed these a couple days ago. I usually leave them 24 hours after I seal my first acetone / cure and sealish sealing. We give it about 24 hours, and then that way we know it's good. And whenever you wash it, like this one here, we're filling in. These had the holes like that, especially like right in this area here. We're filling them in. So what it does is it makes it look like travertine tile, kind of gives it a 3D look. It's pretty cool. So basically just simple as that. That if you don't have concrete man hands, that will take the skin off. So you have to, you know, you should wear gloves. The little rubber gloves that you buy will rip. So I always use like when you dishwasher gloves type, hand wash dishes, those kind of gloves, they work good. So we're got to still do the inside here because this is going to be an undermount sink. So we'll grind off some of that edges and stuff. This is a little more tedious in here. So we'll do the tops and then we'll come back and then we'll do this, and then we actually do another light coat over spots that we went over when we wiped it back off. We'll go over it again. This here is just excess dust here. So if you take a towel, see here, wipes right off. This is just basically when you remove. So what I like to try to do is I like to try to keep, since you got a countertop, it's all, and it's never perfect to be able to, ideal to keep it uniform. You want to take some of that color from one and just kind of run it back over with your sponge and just kind of keep that color. Then because he mixed a mixture, then he mixed a mixture, then he mixed a mixture. Well, you need to make enough to where you can grout all of it.
Okay, now the tops are grouted and wiped clean, so there's no more like streaky that you see. There's no more holes, and now they just have to sit, and the grout needs to completely dry. This one I still got a little streaks on, but we got to completely dry, and then we seal them and let the sealer dry, and we're done. We got poked our things out, grouted this up so it's nice and pretty. We got our holes for our faucets. So yeah, that's how you grout them and get them ready for the final step. Well, the final step here till we install them.
All right, so we are going to seal these tops right here. Get all this bull crap out of here. It's like having teenage kids around this son of a gun. Working? All right. So what we do here, this is the same thing we use when we do our first coat. We use the paint sprayer, but we mix we get cure and seal, that spectrum over there, and we mix it with acetone, thin it out, and then we grout the holes, and then we grout it, clean it up. That's what it looks like here, and then we will seal it. So
That's a different sealer though. It's not the acetone.
yeah, well, we'll go over that here in a minute. I'm gonna do a little spot so I can see kind of what we're dealing with. Okay, I feel like that's gonna look good. That should stay that color, I would guess. All right. So you just kind of spray it on. There ain't no right or wrong. No rhyme or reason. That's a little thick. So there's a nozzle adjuster on here. Don't let's leave it on there, it's fine. There's a nozzle adjuster on these things. And another thing we should have done, which this is good because now you can see our mistakes, is blow all this stuff off, and then, because this thing kind of puts air on it, you know, so any dust that you have is gonna get kind of worked up. It's not as big of a deal. The only big deal of it is because of that sink shows the bottom. Like up here, you're not really gonna blow it around. But as you can see how much that darkens up. We will do this 7 times. This is the 7-step sealing process. Yeah, these things look good. We'll have to bring some sealer with us because we gotta cut some joints. We're gonna be cutting some joints. Yeah, I almost feel like this one here is a little lighter. That's one good thing about, you know, we always want to try to keep our stuff like, you know, set up. We always want to set our forms and make sure we do our templates right. But with concrete, we can cut it with a saw, you know what I mean, and make adjustments on the fly if we have to. We don't want to, but we can if we have to. That's not our goal. Our goal is to pour it perfect. Now I'm gonna leave it like this anyway, and then we'll come back later and put another coat on it.
Where'd the tops go?
Where'd they go?
There they are. Got them all loaded up. Now this is tricky, Dick, because you got to be real careful when you're strapping these things down, because as you can see, we have three weak points on this deal. Actually 4. We got one right there. That's a weak point. Weak point. Weak point. Weak point. So you got to be real careful. Like if we were to just strap it in the middle here and have like foam there and there, it'd probably break it right there. You got to be careful when you're doing that kind of stuff. So there's that deal. Here's the table, and then over here we got our countertop chunks all ready to go. Tip and trick is put these microfiber towels on your straps, and the reason that you do that, the reason that you put these on your straps is so it won't scratch. Probably a level, at 2-foot level. It's in the side box. The silicone caulk gun. I guess we're gonna get some shims unless we have some. Yeah, there's more in the front box. In there. We're gonna do one.
A couple of the used ones, maybe.
That's a new one, ain't it?
Oh, that's new.
Yeah, grab that. Just some shit like that. But yeah, we got them loaded up. We're gonna switch trucks. Look what we found today. We found a bubble in our tire. no good. So we're not gonna drive this truck like we thought. We're gonna drive the boss's pretty Dodge over there. So we're doing that, but yeah, we'll see you when we are on the road. All right, we got tops unloaded. We had to trim a couple of them because their countertop schematic changed. We got them in here. We got our gaps siliconed up, and got them everything good to go. So there's gonna be a sink here, dishwasher there, an oven there. But our job is done, and it looks good. So there you go.